Welcome back to Steve's Project Car Garage. My name is Steve, and sitting over here is my 1969 Triumph Spitfire tanker. In today's episode, I'm going to go ahead and start working on finishing up that parcel shelf. I went ahead and actually created a patch panel in a previous video, and then the other night when I wasn't recording, went ahead and actually welded on some flanges so I could go ahead and really kind of start finishing it up. So check it out and enjoy. Cheers! Alright, as some of you may remember, this is the patch panel that I went ahead and made. So what I did is the other night I welded on these flanges so I could go ahead and actually tack this to the wheel well. So I got this all done. Now what I need to do is go ahead and just drill some holes. That way I have holes pre-drilled for getting the spots in there so I can spot weld it, or plug weld it rather. So let's get that started. Alright, so I got a couple of holes drilled. Those would be great for doing some welds a little bit later on. You see I kind of punched through that one up there, but I'm not overly concerned. Alright, so I got this welded in. It's pretty decent. I've got welds going in here, welds coming along the seam, and I also went ahead and I welded this all together in here. So what I'm going to do now is hit this with the angle grinder, try to just flatten these welds a little bit. I'm not going to be nearly as aggressive as I was on the driver's side because that led to all kinds of issues. So I learned a few tricks from Fitzy on how to weld down or grind down welds. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a whirl and see how we do. Pretty decent, right? Not bad. So now, I'm gonna have some more work ahead of me still though, because I gotta make a patch here, gotta make a patch here, then I gotta cut this whole section out and make a patch for this. This, easy. This, little pinhole there. This is not that bad. This is gonna be the fun part in here. Only reason is because there's a little bit of a dip and then it comes back up. I think I should be able to replicate that, maybe. Big thing is to see if I can cut it out and then we'll go from there. So let's draw a template and give it a go. Let's give it a try. All right. So here's what we got. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a dip here. This is all mangled, but you know, it's good that we're replacing this. Besides it being totally rotted, but this is going to be interesting to try to replicate. I'm no master craftsman by any means, but I think that what I'll end up doing is probably first making this bend here, and then this bend, and then once I've done that, I might be able to just kind of cut here and here to be able to make the flange. I don't know, I mean, that's interesting. But let's go get this applied to some paper and see what we can do. All right, so I cut this piece of metal out. Let's do kind of a rough fit. Okay, you can see that. A little bit of obvious imperfections that I need to work out, but so far that'll work. And now I've given myself some extra metal, so if I take this, you can actually kind of see how it just sort of wedges right on in there, which is nice. That does fit. I gave myself some extra room though to be able to actually cut up that section now that I have to do the divot here for. Because that's really kind of there to help tighten your bolt down here, but also give you some decent wiggle room. So yeah, let's keep cracking. All right, so here's what I've come up with. So I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it does fit in there actually pretty decently. And so when I put that in, I'll have to trim it just a little bit, but I think for the most part, that's gonna work. So yeah, not bad. Let me just mark this. I'll know where I need to start making my flange, and then I should be able to flange it up and cut it and, you know, make it happen. All right, got a little bit of cleanup to do, but I mean, it's not bad. And we drop it in, and it fits nicely. So I should be able to go ahead and zap this guy in. All right, so I got this made. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fit. It actually seems pretty decent. I'm relatively happy with it. So now I just need to go ahead and start tacking it in place, and then I can weld it in. I'm glad I checked this. I'll tell you why. So I put that on, and it definitely looks as though, yep, you can see there's a big gap right there. So I need to undo this weld. I'm going to actually be able to just pop that. There we go. And the whole thing needs to be brought out just a hair. There we go. Alright, got this welded in. It's a couple spots are kind of sketchy, but for the most part it's pretty decent. I'll go ahead and flatten these out, see if there's any spots I need to touch up. But outside of that, we're getting close to a wrap here. It's actually getting pretty late, and I don't want to anger my neighbors too much, so I'm going to try to make this quick and start wrapping it up. Not bad. It's going pretty good. I don't really see any pinholing. Everything looks pretty decent. It's not perfectly flat, but again, this is going to be all covered anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. I just want it to be strong, which it definitely appears to be. I also didn't include this in the video, but I had to build this body mount hole out. And so I got the bolt here for the body mount. That just kind of drops on in there. So I had to put that in. But, I mean, outside of that, sure is a hell of a lot better than it was before. So I still have that patch to make, that patch to make, and then I'm going to attend to all this stuff once the body's off the car, and then I have a lot more easy access to it. And yeah, but I mean, really, for the most part, I'm at a point now where I can just kind of clean up the cross member, and should be pretty much good to go. Although I think that, yeah, I see I got a little spot here. I may just cut this out and just kind of weld in a replacement piece here because I had that little hole. I just want to make sure that everything on the edge here is sound, right? You know, I've got some of this metal that I dinged up along the way. I'll clean this up as best as possible. But yeah, it's coming together, guys. Let's wrap up. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. It is about 11:30 tonight. I've gotten a lot accomplished. I'm very happy with the progress that I've made so far. You know, every time I get out here and spend an hour or two at it, I get a little bit more done, so I'm stoked. If you haven't done so already, though, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let me know that you're enjoying the content that you're getting and that I'm putting out here for you. I'm coming up on the 1-year mark with the project. I'm not nearly where I wanted to be at this point, but I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I definitely had a lot more that I had bargained for. So I'll be doing a 1-year update here in just about another 2 weeks. So I hope that y'all have a great evening. Stick around. We'll see you soon. Cheers.